interesting yield strategies. Like, so go and watch episode 2, and then, as I say, episode 1 was very, very high level, entry level stuff, and then today it's just how do we tie it all together, what you've learned, and then how do you track this stuff, and how do you actually do a little bit of actual research following, a lot of on-chain activity, and the whole idea of it first, ask questions later, it first, research later, and all that kind of good stuff. So I was going to prepare a lot of slides, but completely honest, this has probably been the big everything, and talking you through why stuff is, why stuff works the way it does, and then as I say, we're always around in Discord if there's any questions. So a lot of people might be listening to this or watching this over the Christmas holidays, in that limbo period when you're in an extremely high calorie surplus, probably feeling a little bit hungover and feeling a bit sorry for yourself. So this is what these were released for, just to kind of educate and inform, and bring the next kind of wave of people who are adopting this industry on chain, as opposed to kind of giving your money back to the centralized entities, which is the whole antithesis of what the space is supposed to be about. So as I said, we're going to go through some of the tools, best practices, staying safe, essential tools for DeFi users, analytics tools, the ins and outs of Solscan, Dexscreener, Define, DefiLlama, SolanaFM, a couple of Dune boards, Dune analytics boards, try to use that, portfolio management tools. Might skip multi-sig, that might be just a bit unnecessary, I think. And then go through some research platforms and, how to kind of check and verify some of the positions that you're in. Cool. So let's get to it. So the first thing I want to bring up is Twitter is probably the most important tool in the whole industry. It's where everyone resides. It's where all of the on the beat information drops. It's like we use Blocmates users as the primary distribution tool. Like you need to be on Twitter. It's the instant kind of feedback, the instant information. Everything happens here. If you're on Reddit or you're on YouTube, funnily enough, you listen to this on YouTube, but the more reactive stuff that you need to kind of make a decision at the drop of the hat, it's going to happen on Twitter. So make sure you're curating your lists on Twitter with good followers. And what do I mean by good followers? Well, people who aren't full of shit. If you need a list, always message me. I can send you a list. But make sure that list is curated. Make sure you're interacting, because the algorithm is very, very powerful. It will show you stuff based on the stuff that you've interacted with in the past. And if you can kind of curate this list over time, it's probably the most powerful tool that there is in this industry. But it takes effort, and it takes a lot of pruning, and it takes a lot of time and attention. Understand the depths of it. And also, like, a side point of Twitter as well, I'll get into using AI for research purposes, but Grok is obviously trained on the Twitter feed. Each and every person's definitely contributing to training that model. So when you've got protocols, founders, teams, investors, traders, builders, like all these kind of people contributing to this large language model, then it's a really, really good source of I suppose instant information about what's happening. Whereas certain stuff from, if you're using ChatGPT or other sources, can be quite lagging, I suppose the best way to put it. So right, because we've been going through a Solana based onboarding and education, I suppose, series of seminars, you really need to know how to use a block explorer. So it might look intimidating, and Solana is notoriously difficult. If you go on into EVM land on Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimism, Base, wherever you got, kind of, the block explorer is a hell of a lot more easy to kind of figure out and understand. So the primary block explorer on Solana is Solscan. I'm going to go through SolanaFM as well, but vast majority of transactions will prompt you if you want to kind of find out more about what's actually happened on the blockchain. This is just a reflection of like all the transactions that happen on the Solana blockchain. Etherscan is the one for Ethereum, and then they kind of, Etherscan from Solscan quite recently, so you're probably going to start seeing Solscan look marginally like what you come to expect from Etherscan. So I'll just give you a quick glance of Etherscan as well. Etherscan.io. So yeah, not too much difference. Now owned by the same company. So where do you even start with this thing? So it gives you kind of the basic fundamentals and breakdown of the actual blockchain and the network itself. So it gives you some basic high level stuff. Total solar supply 590 million. Circulating supply is 479 million, 0.2, and then like the remaining, obviously circulating making up 81%, and then non-circulating supply making up 18.8%. Current epoch, slot range, time remaining on that, network transactions over 350 billion, block height, slot height, true transactions per second, and TPS, how much Sol is staked, which is over 390 million. Yeah, so and then you can kind of click through if you wanted to go to the staking dashboard and kind of figure all that out. But basically, everything that happens on the Solana blockchain is documented here. It's the this is the kind of bird's eye view of what's actually happening. So if we want to send, let's say we send one Sol to a wallet, just for all intents and purposes. Right. So once we do that, we can see our history on here. No Phantom wallet. Happened, gives us our time. So, let's just verify it in the wallet, but then it also prompts us if we want to click through to Solscan. Now, what does this tell us? So this is the transaction that's currently just done. I've just sent one Sol to another one of my accounts. So it tells you the signature. So this is like the specific string of letters and numbers that is bespoke to this specific transaction. You will not see that replicated anywhere. It tells you the block time and the block stamp when it happened, basically. So like which block it was in, and then which time. You can switch to local time if you wanted. If it was a success or not. The signer, who is the account that originally sends the transaction, and then who the transaction was sent to. So there's a little bit more information here, but it starts to get very, very messy very, very quick. So that's basic high level of what a transaction would look like on the Block Explorer. So if you did a swap, for example, let's do a swap. Do a swap. Make sure that's we can view the transaction. So transaction hash, again, this is a bespoke string of letters and numbers, the block, the time, who signed the transaction to prompt it to actually happen. What actually happened was there was one Sol, or wrapped Sol technically, swapped for 210 USDC, and then the way that the swap was performed, it actually got routed through the Jupiter aggregator, tells you the fees, tells you the partner referral fee, which is 0.85%, which is what we went through in the last episode, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, basically tells you everything you need to do. So if we go backwards, we can actually figure out, right, well, we know that's my wallet. This was the sender of the transaction. And then you can click through every single wallet and every single account and every single smart contract and every single token is, you can see it directly from here. So this is the demo wallet. It's basically given as the account number. It gives you a basic breakdown of what you got. A lot of shitcoin graveyard tokens there. So the miserable demo wallet. Some of these, if you see this shit, just ignore it completely. They're just spam transactions. yeah, just completely ignore them. If you do not recognize it, do not be clicking through to anything. Like you see, some people might be sending spam transactions, kind of nefariously or non-nefariously. Maybe it's just kind of like they're using it as an advertising, or they're using it to try and kind of do something a little bit more nefarious. But that could kind of vary. So, and yeah, so each wallet will have each specific transaction that's happened on it. You can look directly just at transfers, any of the DeFi activity, any NFT activity, any balance changes, some very, very basic analytics of when you have used it and when you haven't. It will give you a very basic rundown of the token holdings, if you have any stake tokens, and then also if you own any domains, so any like insert word .sol. That's what that would be. But this, as I say, every piece of information about the blockchain is here. It's just not very appealing. It's quite unuser friendly, and yeah, I don't necessarily need to use it. There's much better outlets. So, and same again for if you're doing like for Etherscan or Arbiscan or whatever. It's basically it's all the same operation, effectively. Just one more final thing on that. So you can also, for any token, you could go back in UFD, which is kind of hottest token today, onto Solscan, and then we can actually just paste the token address in there. Unicorn fart dust. Yes, we are serious people. And you can look at every single transaction that's happening with that specific token. So thousands and thousands and thousands of transactions happening. See the DeFi activities. You can actually go and click on the tab of holders, so you can kind of see this is the number one holder. He holds 4.8%, which equates to 9.17 million. This is the token creator who created the token on Pump.fun, which has this little kind of nice iconography there, so you can kind of quickly spot it. They're currently holding 2.57%, which is $4.9 million worth, and then blah 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 blah. This is the liquidity pool. So Sol UFD. So if you go back to episode 702, that explains what that liquidity pool is. That's technically locked and has a specific amount of liquidity locked that will persistently be there, given it was deployed on Pump.fun. And as I say, covered the majority of that in the last session. So yeah, and it gives you basic kind of information as well. But I'm going to show you a much, much better way to kind of get all this information and a lot more cleaner way to do it. SolanaFM, basically the same thing. So if we put the same token address in, then it's just a block explorer. It's exactly the same thing. A little bit cleaner, a little bit easier on the eyes. They try to make things a little bit more intuitive. As you can kind of see here, it's already slightly slower, which is never a good thing when you need information very, very quickly. So yeah, they've just popped up. I believe these guys have just been bought out by Jupiter. So no idea what they're up to there. So I have to keep a close eye on it. Probably just going to integrate directly into Jupiter. So yeah, they're two main block explorers, I suppose, on Solana. Yeah, let's move on from that. So we went through CoinGecko on a previous, I think it was 701, and I just wanted to kind of go through one of my favorite aspects that I use probably every other day. So if you're starting to see specific sectors moving, so it might be meme coins, it might be DeFi, it might be RWAs, like insert anything. If there's AI, it might be a specific sector that's moving. So they have this really nice tagged categories section. So all I did there was cryptocurrencies, then down to categories. And then what's quite interesting to look at, you can just go and sort those categories, those baskets of assets by the 7 days. So Binance holders airdrops. So what is this? The Binance holders airdrops. Blah, blah, blah. Read more about this category. The Binance Hodler airdrops is an airdrop program by Binance. Users who subscribe to Simple Earn using BNB will receive airdrops issued by projects with a large token circulating supply that are intent list on Binance. So, yeah, Binance probably trying to make that look especially good for their users. So interestingly enough, Telegram apps, which I wouldn't have expected, up collectively 88%. Perpetuals protocols up 32.1% on the week. AI agent launch pads up 22 point. So these get quite granular, and then you get kind of some that are a little bit more, like, I suppose, widespread. As I say, AI agents as a whole, then that's further broken down into AI agent launch pads, RWA protocols, oracles, stablecoins, blah blah blah. You basically find anything that you'd like to find in here. So like even down to World's Liberty Financial Portfolio, so like the tokens that the Trump team have been buying. So I like using this. I also like using this other feature as a bit of a high level. So look what's so Tyco is up 130% in total value lock. So how much is the collective net worth of the assets on chain? So Tyco's up 130% in the last 30 days. That's quite interesting. Does that now warrant me to kind of go and have a look on what's built on Tyco? And then when you do click on it, it doesn't bring up the Tyco token itself. It brings up like all of the Tyco decentralized exchanges that are on that ecosystem. And then let's see if we could go to Tyco. Yeah, it doesn't actually have its own category. That's probably a bit of a bad example. Let's see if we can find another one. So Hyperliquid, obviously, talk of the town at the minute. See all Hyperliquid coins, and then it kind of opens up the Hyperliquid market cap ecosystem by market cap, and you can kind of sort through. So some very, very large movers over the past 7 days. Nearly 800% on H1, and then you can kind of just sift through them. As we mentioned on the first time, I can kind of figure out the market cap, circulating supply, volume, blah, 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 blah. Their official website links, their official contract links are here, official Telegram, Twitter. So if you're kind of a little bit skeptical of, I don't know, you've seen a token on Twitter, and you want to just verify it, or you want to just double or triple check that you're not clicking on any phishing links on the various links, then CoinGecko is a trusted source. Every team has to submit their factual information before they actually get listed on here, and they actually pay to do it. So it's one of my kind of main sources if I want to verify any specific links about specific projects. And is there anything else? So gainers and losers, yeah, this is like obviously a really good one. You can see over 24 hours, CoinGecko is getting more and more modular by the week, which is really good. So you can kind of just drill down, have a little look at what you want to have a look into. Like we just knocked that out into 7 days, top 1,000. This Akuma Inu seems to be a dog token. Ray seems to be up. So if you want to look at winners and losers, I definitely wouldn't just pick whatever's up on the 7 day. Maybe 1 day might be quite a little bit more indicative. Nice to see AI rig up there, which I hold currently, so happy about that. And then you can also see the certain stuff that's like not performing very, very well at all. So poor Moodang. But yeah, those are some aspects of it. I'm just trying to think of this. Stuff like this with gainers and top gainer, top losers, like that's hard numbers. Trending and new coins, and yeah, I don't know. Like, who decides what's trending? If I was CoinGecko, I'd be charging people to kind of be on that trending section. So yeah, just kind of take that sort of stuff with a pinch of salt. And if people like teams and people are retweeting it saying that it's bullish, then yeah, I don't know. Look a little bit deeper into it. Cool. CoinMarketCap, this is actually owned by Binance. They kind of more and more rolling out this social aspect, this social feed. Don't read too much into fear and greed. Don't just don't over index for it. Dominance is always a kind of good thing to keep an eye on. So basically, like how much of the total market cap of crypto, which is 3.56 trillion, how much of that is made up of Bitcoin's market cap, which is basically 2 trillion of the 3.56 trillion. So obviously equates to 57%. It's got Ethereum dominance. Let's have a little look, see if be quite interesting to see when they add Solana on there. But yeah. Yeah, quite a nice kind of quite a nice actual new layout. So this is actually highlighting whatever's trending on Dexscan. So basically just screening a lot of pairs on decentralized exchanges. Again, some of these things can be gamified, so take it with a pinch of salt. Trending coins, and then again, very, very similar layout to what we've just kind of discussed. More categories. They do actually have a token unlocks page here, but I'm gonna show you a tool that's really, really good later in the stream. Other than that, yeah, I think CoinGecko has got everything you need. And there was some controversy this week that because let me just see if they've changed it. So basically, the story was not to go off on too much of a tangent. Are they still doing it? So Hyperliquid has came out the gates. Let's have a look. Let's do some investigation. Hyperliquid is 25, rank 25. Its market cap is 8.8 billion. I don't think we scrolled past it there. Did we? Or am I? Yeah, so something's not adding up here because it's not on here. And someone said it kept getting pinned at like number 250. So not to go too tinfoil hat-ish, but we will go there. Hyperliquid being, I suppose, the on-chain Binance is what they call themselves. And yeah, pinned at 201. So that doesn't make any sense. So is it because Binance own coin market cap and they don't want to kind of flag that up? Maybe. Maybe it's just a glitch. But I wouldn't put it past them. Cool. Right. Next section. All right, DefiLlama is the GOAT. This is the best tool that is in existence. So high level, if you've never used it before, it's a free tool. They ship out more products than absolutely anyone. This gives us a total picture of what's happening in DeFi currently. So 144, maybe 144 billion TVL. Stablecoin market caps making up 204 billion. 24-hour volume across all chains, roughly 18 billion. So this basically saying that we're not yet at DeFi TVL all-time highs. Then if we scroll a little bit further, we can see the top protocols for each category. So you've got Lido for liquid staking, Aave for lending, Eigenlayer for restaking, blah, blah, blah. The list kind of continues. And these are primarily broken down and sorted by TVL. So we've got 36.29 billion in TVL for Lido, 22.43 billion for Aave, blah, 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 blah. So you can actually click through into the vast majority of these, and they have a lot of nice finer detail around each individual asset and protocol. So the market cap of Aave, the Aave price, fully diluted valuation, the volume, how much of the Aave token is staked, how much is borrowed, blah 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 blah, fees, revenue, blah blah blah, and then it also has this really intuitive, I suppose, snapshot of what's happened around certain prices and like certain issues. So if like a protocol had been hacked, then you obviously TVL drop like drastically, and then it's kind of flagged on the chart of why that actually happened, and that's under the events section. So gives you a little bit of a blurb, the developer activity and methodology, some of all the fees, and blah blah blah. So then it directs off to CoinGecko if you need it. So really, really useful for that. For the chains is quite an interesting one as well. So basically just how we've previously used TVL, and then TVL upticks here to kind of indicate whether there's been the like important moves. You can kind of see that on DefiLlama as well. So this shows Ethereum accounting for TVL in DeFi of like 56.8%. Solana only making up 7.45%. Then this breaks it down. So Ethereum still dwarfs Solana by maybe like 7 or 8x. So yeah, it is considerable, even though the volume traded on Solana is consistently surpassing it now. But that's good if you watched Seminar 2, why we want high volume, low liquidity. If you're going to be an LP, then the fees are a lot more juicy. So yeah, it just takes you through like protocols on Ethereum, 1,250, on Solana, on Tron, blah, 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 blah. Interestingly enough, BSC having a large amount of protocols, even Arbitrum having a large amount of protocols over there. And then it just gives you the basic stats so you can go through it. But if you see like a obscure uptick in TVL, then that might just like warrant like a little bit of a further look. If it's a little bit out of the ordinary, maybe it's nothing, or maybe it's a glitch, but you know, having just like a high level piece of data that if there's any anomalies, you can kind of go and drill down and see if there's any kind of alpha to be found there, I suppose. So Corn, what is Corn? What is Nibiru? I don't know what that is. So I'd probably go and have a little look at those in my spare time from a research perspective. Bridge TVL. So yeah, you can start to see which bridges are getting, I suppose, main traction. And then you can kind of double down again using that kind of, if there are like anomalies or a bit of a weird kind of outlier that you're not typically seeing on a what you'd expect from a weekly basis for those inflows, then you can kind of drill down again. Is there any alpha by following the data? You can compare the chains. Do have the airdrops feed on there as well. Shows you how much money they've raised, listed. A lot to sift through on there, though. I wouldn't want to like to sit through there, to be honest. Shows you teams' treasuries, how much they spend, if they overspend, if they underspend, like what the breakdown of the spend is, which is quite good if you might have a team that likes to spend an awful lot of money and doesn't really churn out any product. So yeah, there's just a whole host of products. They've like you can spend all day on this thing kind of figuring it out, but yeah, it's a mainstay. It should be pinned to anyone's kind of dashboard if they're doing any research. So what about Sonar Watch? So this is more kind of like portfolio management, I suppose. So we can just go in, type in my demo address there, and then it just shows you all the portfolio holdings. It also picks up stuff that you might have forgotten about and just gives you a bit of a high level. So that's just called sonar.watch. And you can plug in different wallets from different chains. So it does have support for like EVM chains or Sui or Aptos and a lot of other shit as well. Cool. Right. I think we went through Dexscreener a little bit, but I do have like a really extensive advanced video called How to Actually Trade Meme Coins. That's on YouTube. So if you want to go like really in the weeds with that sort of stuff, then give that one a watch. But like high level, Dexscreener, basically every token that's on chain is traded, and then it'll show you where it's traded, how much volume, the chart. So like if we just look at so this thing's obviously been ripping today. So what's it actually showing us? It's showing us the pair, it's showing us where it's traded, it's showing us the time horizon, it's showing us basically everything that you come to expect from a chart. Gives us some socials, price per sol, how much, and interestingly, how much liquidity is locked. So of the $2.9 million worth of liquidity, 98.7% of it is locked, 98.7% of it is burnt. So we can rest easy knowing that it's not going to completely rug and we're not going to be left with zero overnight. It shows the FTV and shows the market cap, price over 5 minutes, 1 hour, 6 hour, 24. total number of transactions that have happened between the pair, the volume, so how much notional volume has been traded, and then how many buys and sellers have actually happened over. I believe this is the 24-hour period. So yeah, it's what I tend to do on a monthly basis. So you can see all my watch lists up here that I create, but I'm on December watch list at the minute, and I just continually add any tokens that I think might be worth watching. And then on the morning, what I'm just going to do, sort by 24 hours, what's moved the most, what's kind of like looking a bit flat. So UFD up 537% in 24 hours, which is kind of wild. AION is up 194%, ARC 75, blah, 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 blah. Then if I've actually got them based on the portfolio and check on Sonar Watch or my Phantom, if stuff is completely nuked, then I might want to kind of reassess why I'm holding it and, just kind of sort it that way. But you need a consistently live watch list. You need to be culling the stuff that is completely useless and, paying more attention to the stuff that's doing well. So, yeah, it's pretty easy to set up. So, and if you do have it, you can download the app as well and then connect through your Gmail. So any watch list you create on the browser, you can have with on your handheld device as well. Are there any tricks? Yeah, I suppose there are. Let's have a look. Duck AI. Let's have a look at this. So down here, you can get the token address. You can search the token address on Twitter, see if anyone else is speaking about it. You can see when the pair was created, so 1 month to 24 days ago. Goes through like a mini audit. So mintable, kind of like the owner create new tokens if they wanted. No, so that's a good thing. Freezable, whether the token owner can freeze the tokens to prevent you trading, which is obviously a bad idea. So no issues. It looks okay. Some more social stuff. You can kind of work out how much $1,000 would give you 140, nearly 150,000 tokens. Things get interesting down this bit. So this is basically every single buy and sell that happens. And we can see also the top traders. So this guy has basically bought. Let's have a look. I'm going to sort by P&L. Unrealized. Bear with me a second. It's not a good example. So we got UFD and then got to top traders. So top traders, sort by P&L. We've seen this guy bought 84K, 84,000, and has managed to sell $933,000 worth, so profit of 849,000. And what it'll also do as well is if you click the funnel, this looks like it's a bit of a volume bot or market making or something, because there's that many like buys and sells. This doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. Let's see if there's a weird. Have a look at another one. Yeah, this one looks more. Yeah, so this guy bought 70K, has been selling all the way up and is continually selling. So yeah, you can go and see a lot about like top traders, and then you can also click through to the snipers, kind of figure out what they've been doing. This guy bought $1,000 worth, sold 10K. He's fully out now. He hasn't got anything else left to sell. So that's a kind of a good sign as well. If a lot of the early snipers are still holding the tokens, it's not really good. You kind of want to see those guys exit early, because obviously there's that kind of idea that there's a lot of supply overhang. But if you look at this, anyone who bought in the first, a couple of seconds is not really holding much of the token. This guy who's bought after 11 seconds, bought 7,346, which is equated to unrealized P&L of 221,000 at the minute. You're going to see a big buy here and a load of sells. He's actually rebought some, the idiot. Hilarious. So yeah, there's a little bit of an overhang there because they still own 221k of it, but that's not that much, I suppose. You can see the top holders. As I say, we looked at it directly on Solscan not too long ago, and then kind of this just completely verifies it, and you can kind of see their transactions on the chart as well. If you just click the little filter bit, you can see the liquidity providers, and obviously this handy tool of bubble maps. I go more detail in this on the meme coin video, but yeah, I'll let you watch that one if you want to go into that a little bit more in detail. Cool. Defined, much of the same. I believe it's got a lot better. Like, look at this. All these like little lightning bolts and things like that. These are kind of like paid ads to make it a little bit more flashy, so you're paying closer attention to like some of these tokens and stuff. So I don't necessarily like using this because I don't know what's alpha and what's not. It's a bit noisy. It feels like a bit like a early 2000s website that used to give your family computer a heart attack. Whereas this, I know the Defined team that created like the traders themselves, so they try and make it as much of a really good platform to use as physically possible to try and give people an edge. So I much prefer this to actually use. I'm waiting for their mobile app to go live. I think it's on test flight at the minute. They do have like a lot of other features as well, which you can drill into if you want to use it. But yeah, overall, great website. The charts are a lot quicker as well. If you're looking at lower time frame stuff, so really, really good. And that's just define.fi. So you might see a lot of Dune analytics boards that are really, really good. So this is basically an open platform where anyone can go and create different analytics boards. So if you're that way inclined, you might be able to pick this up really, really easy, but I'm a complete idiot, so we get people to build them for us. One of our good friends, Hitesh, built this one called Alpha Screener, which is fantastic. So it basically has so it's a narrative index. So like it has a basket of assets under the layer 1 category, DeFi 3.0, Web3 gaming, decentralized AI, DeepIn, agents, RWAs. And then what it does is like creates these really nice visuals where, what have we got here? All coins against BTC. So you kind of got a really high level of what alts are doing compared into BTC. And then daily alpha index. This is top index of top 10 coins based on optimized relative strength. And this is 7-day, 30-day, 90-day. So see Filecoin on 7 days, ripping, virtuals on the 30 and virtual on the 90. Yeah, and it's just like a really, really good tool. So it breaks down each sector like from based on relative strength. So really, really good. That's just one. Like you search in anything here. So like Sonic went live yesterday at the time of recording. Let's have a little look what's going on over there. So we've had a really nice kind of dashboard there to give us nearly 500,000 transactions, 8,182 contracts created, 73,000 distinct addresses, and then you can kind of just see activity across the board, just to kind of give you a like nice high level. Some of the best ones are where they give you a lot of comparisons. So let me think. Hype. There's probably a Hyperliquid board. I can imagine you just type in whatever you think, and you can like have a bit of a perps in Hyperliquid. This is probably along the right lines of what I was about to say. Yeah, so Hyperliquid perps equating to 57% of all on-chain volume the past 24 hours, which is another good one. Telegram trading bots. There's a nice comparison site. That's actually not the right one. Trading. Let me see if I can find it. No, can't find it. Don't know where it's gone. That used to be one of my go-tos as well. Yeah, so basically anything and everything. So crypto Kairos always got great boards. So this is the alt buy signal. Hilarious. Buy a house. Alt signal. Yeah, so there's loads of these boards. Just find out which ones work for you. Yeah, I went through Grok. This is I really love this team. So Tokenomics is a platform that is dedicated to kind of giving you the best kind of bird's eye view of what is actually happening with tokens that are coming onto the market. So think about, like, is there an airdrop happening? Is a private round about to unlock? Is it about a vest? Is the supply about to 100% increase overnight? If you're sat holding some token, you want to know if there's any large unlocks coming, because 9 times out of 10 you probably want to get out if it's like a drastically sized like unlock that's happening. So you can sign up for the free version. You just need to sign in with Google, and then let's have a little look. Upcoming unlocks. Let's just kind of click through this on like really high level. So yeah, there's a 18.53 million Cardano unlocking in 1 day, 11 hours, 6 minutes, and 14 seconds. Eigenlayer, there's another 5.99 million coming. Hype, 344 days. Zero, 182 days. So you can kind of see like total unlock next 7 day emissions. Let's have a look which is the largest by next 7 day emissions. MRS, never heard of it, but there's 41 million tokens getting emitted over the next 7 days. I wouldn't want to hold that. AVAX, same. SUI, same. ENA, same. Like, the difference is if you've actually got like a demand that outpaces these emissions, then that's cool. And then let's use Athena, for example, and then you can kind of go and figure out, well, where are these emissions actually going? So are they going to early investors? Because 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get a lot of sell pressure. Or are they going to the treasury? Or are they going to... You need to figure out who the tokens are getting distributed to effectively, because that kind of matters as much as how much is actually getting unlocked. So 14.5 million ecosystem development will be unlocked on Christmas Day. So despite it being an unlock, I don't think that's too much to kind of worry about, because you'd imagine that those funds are going to get reinvested into, as I say, ecosystem development, or so you'd like to think. But so yeah, really good tool. It shows you a kind of full supply breakdown and unlocks. You want to upgrade for more, you can do. Not sure, but I'm still on the free plan, so limited to 1 month of data. Yeah, it's a really good tool. And then other than that, Blocmates as a whole, I think this is the site I wish I had when I first started how long ago? 2017. Shit, that makes me feel ancient. But yeah, I wanted like an all-in-one site where I didn't necessarily have to leave, get all the information that I needed. So Blocmates, as I say, we got a load of articles on there. I think there's over 1,000 articles on the site. It's all written in a way that basically anyone should be able to understand. And now articles, there should be at least one every day coming out from us. So just jump back on here every single day. There's going to be something interesting on there. It's only stuff that we like. It's only stuff that we want to put our name to. It's only stuff that we actually want to learn more about ourselves. As I said, we're a little bit selfish in that. With that intention, we actually want to build something that we would like to use ourselves. So this is what we do. If you're more interested in the news, want to keep up with the news, then we've got daily newsletter that goes out Monday to Friday. That goes out currently around 16,000 people. So you're in good company there. the editorial arm of the Blocmates news that goes out whenever there's anything interesting on that side. If you want to join, you're probably in Discord already if you're listening to this, but if you listen to this over Christmas holidays when we release it to the public, then that's completely free. You don't have to join the meal deal. If you want to join the meal deal, you can do. It's more for people who want to start taking their investments a little bit more seriously. But there is like a large active free section in there, which is like world class. If I do say so myself. We do have the podcasts, which primarily focus on founder interviews, and then we also have a couple of more market commentary stuff, which is Shitcoin Chat, which usually happens on a Thursday, but Christmas is getting in the way. We did a live stream last night with Andre and Michael as Sonic went live. We had Jeffy from Zerion on. We have another podcast called Blockmates Orange, which is more Bitcoin DeFi focused, if anyone likes that kind of stuff. We have Tau Talk, which is a BitTensor ecosystem podcast, if you like what's happening in the AI sector, and particularly with BitTensor. We also, on this channel that you're listening to this on, have a lot of Blockmates explainer videos, which, it's we use our good kind of friend, contributor, overall legend Gaz to kind of go through protocols, just sit down like for an hour and kind of like dissect protocols with a little bit more detail than you would typically get anywhere else. And yeah, other than that, we just want to make it like a one-stop shop platform. And like if you do like going into the weeds a little bit more, obviously the meal deals there. If you want to read what one of the token reports is, like the token briefs is like, you can just go and sign up for free. There's no paid. These ones are obviously paid. We have kind of like a research business to run, people to pay. so we do have a lot of stuff on there, but that Hyperliquid token brief should give you a kind of flavor of the token briefs, and there's a lot deeper ecosystem reports. If you want to toggle this free section on, you can kind of do that, and then there's a couple of reports to kind of what you whistle there. And Discord's like invaluable. We've got a lot of tools in there that, let me see if I can just kind of show an example of one of them. We'll use Unicorn Fart Dust as take the contract address. So we've put these bots in now where bundle check and then paste the token. This is basically going to tell me if people were tipped off and they knew the token was coming to market and like teams sniped the launch. And it's also going to be able to tell me basically anything. Has the Twitter been reused? Has the LE pumped off fund wallets who picked up the token? Can we check if the site has been reused? Because if you start to see like these like breadcrumbs of like nefarious activity, then despite the token going up, it might be like better to get off the train before it kind of crashes, that kind of stuff. So have wallets been freshly funded to buy stuff? Like what are the recent graduation stats for pumped up fund? Determine if top holders are fresh wallets. Give some common traders for a given contract address to kind of see if there's any kind of confluence across tokens that are performing really well and stuff that you want to buy. It's just a shit. Like these are all tools that you can kind of use in there for different purposes. So that's available in the meal deal. Again, it's not for everyone. Like, don't feel forced into going down it if you don't want to. Just kind of have a look, see if you like it or not. And yeah, if there's anything that we could do a little bit better, just let us know. We're gonna have a big year 2025. I hope you've all enjoyed the past 3 weeks. I hope you've learned something. Always around to chat. And yeah, I hope you had a good 2025. Have a good holiday season if anyone who's celebrating. And yeah, we'll see you next year. Over and out. Take it easy. Bye. Oh, and subscribe if you're not on YouTube, please. Thanks.